Alright, so you all know I'm always complaining about being single because I am single and I hate the dating apps. But one thing, we all know Hinge sucks, or just any of them actually, Bumble, Tinder. Hinge is the only one I'm on, so that's why I'm saying Hinge. But this is a message for the men. Do you really think that we want to see a picture of your food or your boat or like a landmark? Like, that's the last thing I want to see. Like, I want to see what you look like, and I don't want to see a picture from 20 years ago because I feel like that's the only thing that these guys are posting because they're all old and they call us old. Is it just me? Like, I feel like all the profiles I see, they're posting pictures of spaghetti or like a mountain or something that I don't really care about.
I honestly just couldn't give two shits about dating anymore. I don't see the point in it. No one can be bothered to even do bare minimum these days. Or, not even think to not go out on the piss the night before a date and get so hungover that they cancel an hour and a half before the date. And then don't tell me then that, oh, you really want to see me. Oh, you'd really love to see me, give you another chance. How about no? If you really wanted to see me, you wouldn't have got so fucked up the night before that you couldn't even make it out of your stinking bed to come on a coffee date. Not even that extreme. You don't even have a car, so you were going to walk 10 minutes down the road from your house. I've made it so easy for you. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Something that I think is missing from discussions around the loneliness epidemic or decreasing rates of partnership or the lack of third spaces is the acknowledgement that it is actually genuinely harder to date than it used to be. Like, I'm a dating coach and I'm interested in the history of dating. So I can go back and I can look and I can see, oh, there used to be this much stronger cultural script for dating. There's expectations of who did what when. There were guides, advice columns, etiquette books, magazines, all these things that sort of taught you how to date. And people have always needed help with this, learning how to flirt, how to dress, how to text. And at this point in time, we've lost a lot of that shared culture and we've lost a lot of that procedure. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of these old tips and these old like guides and rules were sexist or discriminatory or just things that were better leaving in the past. But we have moved forward in 2026 to a period where we don't have those guides. We don't have that structure. And I think it's leaving a lot of people feeling very lost and confused as to what to do because nothing has come in as a replacement.
There's a hypnotherapist in London, works with women on dating, and she shared something that kind of says it all. A client of hers, early 40s, successful, told her, "I'm starting to think the one for me must already be dead." That's not a joke. That's what the dating market feels like at 42, when the men you expected to settle for you settled for someone 10 years younger instead. The timeline she was promised didn't have competition in it. The competition showed up anyway.
So I always have so many people ask me, where are the good men? Where can I find them? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put you onto this right now. Are you ready? They're on Zooming with their families for 3 hours on Sunday. They're on a couch somewhere with their mother right now. They're in the corner of the bar, just talking to their friends and keeping to themselves and not really taking up a lot of space. They're at game night and trivia night. They are playing with their nieces and their nephews at a park somewhere, or maybe even at Disneyland, being the fun uncle. Are they on dating apps? Yes, they have a dating app profile. However, it's probably incomplete. And their photos are probably kind of old, and they didn't fill it out very well. Because they don't check it that often. You're not seeing them because they're not taking up a lot of space. I hope this is helpful.
As women, the older we get, the more invisible we get. You become invisible as you age, as a woman. What that means is we become invisible to men. And that sounds amazing. As a woman who is quickly pushing 40, I am seen every day by my daughter, by my friends, by my cats. There's one right now. By my husband. He's great. And the less and less I get seen by other men. the better and better my life is. So here's to aging and being invisible to men. And there's the other cat. Gorgeous.
Here's the thing about the wall that nobody says gently enough. It's not that women become unattractive at 30. That's not what's happening. What's happening is that men's options expand as they age. Their income goes up, their confidence goes up, their status goes up. And with those options comes range. A 35-year-old man with a career and a gym body isn't stuck in his age bracket. He can date 25. He can date 28. And increasingly, he does. The wall isn't about looks, it's about leverage. And leverage shifts when one side has more options than the other.
Today is my 30th birthday, and I cry every year on my birthday. I think it's because I'm a Pisces, but especially today, it's so crazy to think about the past decade and what I have accomplished and what I've learned. I'm just so grateful to be here because for a while in high school, the story of all stories is like I didn't know if I wanted to be here. And what I've learned in my 20s is, one, family is the most important thing ever. And I'm so grateful for my family and for my husband and for all the things. And I think that's just so wonderful. And second is that life always works out. No matter, even if when you're thinking that it's not working out for you, life is always working out and there's always a bigger plan. And I may not be someone that, fully believes in God, but I do believe that there's a higher power that's always looking out. If you have good intentions, if you show up every day to be the best version of you, life will always work out. So I wish for this next year that, I don't know, there's no wishes for this next year. Life is great. I have no complaints. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family and my friends and for my job and for all the wonderful things that make my life so special. So anyway, happy birthday to me.
The thing about dating in your late 30s that's odd is this. You're jaded. You're used to men doing the bare minimum. So when some man comes along and does more than the bare minimum, you don't believe it, right? When some man wants to move in before you guys have gotten engaged, you're like, absolutely not. I'm not going to be your mommy and you're not going to get the milk for free. But at the same time, that man is spitting facts when he's like, we got to get to know each other. We got to get to know what it's like to cohabitate, right? But I'm sitting here being like, what? You just want me to be there cleaning and cooking for you? What? I don't get my independent Chipotle in the bed with my mask on nights anymore? Now I've got to cohabitate before I've even gotten a ring? That seems extreme. So when I was in my 20s, I used to think of like moving in together as the next logical step in the dating pyramid, right? Like you date, you say I love you, move in together, get engaged. Now I'm like, we date. And then one day we just go snap, snap, and we agree to do all the other things. Move in, get engaged, get married, have kids, etc. I don't know if that's just me, but I'm like, I don't have time to do this like baby step trial and error. You're either in or you're out. Shit or get off the pot, kids. Because if you're not in, which is fine, I do just fine by myself, and or you're replaceable. And I think that's just dating in your late 30s, so.
The Pew data is wild when you look at it sideways. 63% of men under 30 are single. Among women the same age, it's way lower. But by 35, that gap starts closing fast. Except now the men have options they didn't have at 25, and the women have fewer options than they had at 25. The market literally inverts. The person who had all the power at 23 is now competing for the attention of the guy she swiped left on 8 years ago. And that guy? He's doing fine. He's got a beard, a portfolio, and a girl who's 7 years younger.
I got divorced at 53 years old after an 18-year marriage. And there have been plenty of times post-divorce where I've kind of lamented the fact that I spent so many years in a bad marriage. Why didn't I get a divorce sooner? I wish I was younger when I got the divorce. Now I'm realizing that at 53 years old, this was the perfect time for me to have gotten a divorce. Because at 53, I am no longer the focus of male attention. And because I'm no longer the focus of male attention, I'm no longer seeking male validation. When I was a teenage girl and I started getting attention from boys and men, I kind of found myself on this hamster wheel of wanting attention because the attention made me feel good. It made me feel pretty. It made me feel smart. It made me feel confident in myself. It was just a very slippery slope from receiving attention to actively seeking male validation. What a man thought about me mattered, because eventually it was going to lead to a man choosing me to be his wife. And once I was chosen as a wife, I could relax. I could just finally be myself because I was going to have this man who loved me and accepted me for who I truly was. But once I got into an actual marriage, I found out I was still on that hamster wheel. I was still seeking attention from my husband, seeking his validation, seeking his time. It just never ended. Now that I'm divorced and I'm 53 years old and I'm no longer receiving the attention from men that I used to get, I feel like the world looks different. I feel like I can make decisions with a clear mind because the only person that I'm thinking about is myself. I'm not thinking about what a man wants from me, what a man needs from me. And that goes for like big decisions to like even small decisions about like what I wear or how I do my hair. I'm just doing everything for myself. And there's just a freedom in that. If I had gotten divorced earlier, even when I was like in my early 40s, I don't know if I would have been able to be in this space right now. I think I still might have been in the place of seeking male attention and male validation. I would have gotten myself into the same trap. So yeah, I'm grateful that it happened when it happened, because it happened at the time that was perfect for me. And now I get to live a life for me.
There's a thread on Blind, an app where tech professionals post anonymously, where a guy wrote, "Dating women in their late 20s and 30s is a nightmare. The way they don't play games anymore, because now they want marriage and a family, and they're running out of time. What were you doing your whole 20s?" And that post got thousands of engagements. Not because it's cruel, because it's the question sitting in the back of every man's mind when a 34-year-old woman says, "I'm ready now." Ready now? Where were you when ready was affordable?
You know, when women our age, like our age, complain that they're not seen anymore? Like there was that model who's Gen X or Boomer, really famous model, married to a really famous musician. He had passed away. And she had this whole platform about how now that her looks had diminished, she wasn't seen anymore and how that was a big problem for her. I mean, why not enjoy the peace? If you're Gen X, it was the wild, wild west. Construction workers would yell at you. I used to get my ass grabbed at football games in the stadium. And on my way to work in downtown San Francisco, drug addicts would just yell anything that they wanted. It was so cringy. Like, just enjoy the peace, ladies. Enjoy the peace.
One of the potential problems here is you're 37. Probably like the cohort of men you're going to be dating is probably like 35 and up.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Like 35 to 45, maybe even older.
Yeah.
Like I'd say this age cohort of men probably isn't looking to wait like 6 months to have sex. Are you waiting until marriage again?
I haven't entirely decided because
You need to figure that out before you go on dates with men who might want to the same night.
I always tell them that I don't want to sleep with them early. It's something that I at least want to wait. I want to get to know somebody. I don't want to hook up with anybody.
That's totally fine, but I need you to be realistic in the dating marketplace. I think that's a perfectly acceptable standard. However, you have to realize these dudes are dealing with women who will write not interested in hookups in the bio,
and then sleep with them.
And they the same
I know.
night.
That's
so
why I'm
you gotta
saying
be really
that's why I'm saying
you
it's
gotta be
both.
screening these dudes out properly.
I know. I try to.
So are you going back to their place on the same night? I think a guy should respect your boundaries regardless of the venue, but one thing a woman can do, like if you genuinely are like, I want to wait, one of the things that you can do to kind of make that situation less likely is you can't be going to their crib.
Men married to younger women actually live longer. That's not a joke. It's in the data. And 74% of age gap couples report being very satisfied. Meanwhile, 39% of Americans have already dated someone with a 10-plus year gap. This isn't some fringe behavior that society punishes. It's mainstream. It's accepted. And every year it becomes more visible, which means every year the women who assumed they had time are watching the clock get louder. The window didn't close. The men just climbed out of it.
Okay, y'all, I'm in my 30s. I am single, and in order to meet my future husband, I need to go out in the wild. So today we're going to Equinox. Let's go. Oh, and I brought a friend.
Baby, where the hell is my husband? What is taking him so long to find me? Oh, baby, where the hell is my lover? Getting down with another. Yeah. Tell him if you see him, baby. If you see him, tell him. He said, why is this beautiful man waiting for me to get over? He already tested my patience. I only fear he's taking time with other women that ain't me. Well, I've been reviewing.
Anybody else out there start dating somebody when they were like in their early 20s and then it ended up lasting all through your early 30s and now you're out here dating for the first time in your 30s? Anybody else? Ooh, it's really hard. The standard feels a little different now. I know that I can make it on my own. I don't need someone, but I would love to find someone eventually. But I guess the thing is, like, I'm having like a good time dating for the most part, you know? Like, I'm having fun. It does suck when you know you need to end it with somebody. Like, that part definitely sucks. But I think the thing is, like, with dating, that it's not always going to be fun. Sometimes you're going to have bad dates and sometimes you're going to have bad experiences. And I think it comes with the territory. And I think that's why it's so important to date when you really like know yourself and have a lot of self-trust and boundaries and all those things, because otherwise, like, it can get you into some unfortunate situations if you don't. And it just sucks because it's like, it's just really hard and it's a little discouraging to go on dates and keep meeting people who you think it's going to be great with, and at least it might last a little while, you know, like something that you feel positive about, and then it just turns out like pretty quickly to not be the right thing for you. It's just sucks. It's like, how long how long is it going to take to meet the right person? Man, I don't know.
Your value as a man doesn't decrease with age, it compounds. Every year you spend building the body, the career, the mindset, the savings, that's equity. And equity gives you options at 35 that you didn't have at 25. The women who turned you down at 25 are not the same market you're shopping in at 35. You upgraded. Act like it.